Hello, YouTubers. I want to welcome you to another edition of Bargain Bin Gear and Bargain Bin Amps. I'm your host, guitarist Denis Taaffe, and I'm outside, and it's New Year's Eve. So before you guys start drinking, eggnog, and get the urge to drive or what have you, it's probably not a good idea. Alright, anyway, Happy New Year. Okay, well, my end of this year ends on a okay note. Not the greatest. And that's basically because, unfortunately, I was going to exchange a desk in my studio room B, which is really my living room. Now, let me clarify some things. Okay, first off, I have a Studio A, which is basically my music room, okay? And that's where I do most of my recording. However, I sometimes, especially since getting a little travel guitar, real light and small, I started playing in my living room. Well, it eventually became Studio B, more and more guitar equipment. And it was kind of getting out of hand in a way. And on top of that, while I enjoyed playing on the couch, if I was going to play in there and record in my living room, I didn't want to lay on the couch the whole time. For one thing, it was hard to get to pedals and those kinds of things. Now, I do very much enjoy it, if I'm watching a movie or the news and what have you, to be able to, play on the couch and so on. So I had this brilliant idea, and that is that, I had a desk in my shed that I had actually recorded my first album on in 1999, and it had been in storage, so I thought, I'll just bring that out. And I have a side couch in addition to a regular couch, so I thought, okay, I'll just replace the side couch with a desk, a computer desk, It'll have my recording software and be able to sit in a chair and play. Little did I know what that actually entailed. And I hate to report that it was a big failure. Basically a true face plant. But it wasn't all bad. There were some good things about it. And now you have to understand, the couch, the side couch, had been basically just piling up with stuff, and I never really used it at all, And had I been thinking it more clearly, I could have just sat on that and played. But it just never dawned on me, I guess. I don't know. And really what it was is when I bought this couch, man, immediately it started peeling the leather. Right? They call it bonded leather. It's a total sham. Right? It's where they spray on the leather and it's microscopic and doesn't last at all, and it kind of peels away, and what a piece of junk. in that sense. Okay, so that's not very good. And I did a video on this, and we can take a look at it here. All right, and it was going to be, I was all excited because I was going to replace the ratty side couch, with this desk. Right. So let's take a look at that real quick. Studio B is basically my living room. Okay, and I spend quite a bit of time here. I have a big couch over here that I, watch the news, watch movies, play guitar, and in fact record guitar. Kind of when you're on the couch and things, Oh, Mitty! Now, if you followed my videos in the past, and if you haven't, you should subscribe for that very reason, right? Okay, I had recently acquired a 4x12 cabinet, and I really like playing through it. The problem is it's big. It's taking up a lot of space too, right? So what to do? Well, this is what spurred all this on, really. And what a project this has been so far. Very worthwhile, very revealing, too. Now, here's something outrageous. And I'll never forget that when I got this couch, right? I mean, it wasn't maybe 3 weeks, a month, right? The damn, it's supposed to be a leather couch my foot, right? The leather started peeling. Are you kidding me? And what's even worse, I'll never forget this, as long as I live, probably. I called the furniture place and say, hey, I just bought this couch. What's going on here? Right? This leather is just peeling off. It's super paper thin. As I later learned, it was sprayed on. What a scam. Man, I might as well have bought it from the back of a white van. Right? Sad. So I was really mad. And the guy on the phone, you know what he told me? He said, oh, well, you want to buy another one? What do you think, doofus? No, I don't want to buy another one. What are you, crazy? So anyway, that was several years ago. So anyway, this is huge love seat couch. And it's kind of cool because it was comfy and stuff, And let me show it to you. It looks pretty ratty. And it's not the fact that, that it's super old, except that it is now, but it's the fact that the leather is just kind of falling off of it. Let me show it to you. You can take a look at it here. Was this freaking air conditioner, right? And it's filthy too, and I gotta clean that up. And on top of that, above that, look, I need new blinds, right? So, but I'll tell you what, a few days ago you couldn't even see it, Now, I know who the culprit of this is, busting up the blind there. And this is it. Here's the culprit. MIDI. Sure enough, MIDI just has to find the carpeted PA speaker, right? And there he is, right? So he's got to leave his cat hair on it. Thanks, Mitty. So it's time to go buy some blinds anyway. Alright? Here, say hi, Mitty. 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 Hi, Mitty. Okay. So anyway, this was a huge undertaking. Now here's what happened. Once I had replaced the ratty couch with the desk, all of a sudden there was something wrong with the room. It was very cold, very sterile, very, I don't know, not comfortable. And I had disrupted the Miyagi feng shui. Right? And so I had to trust my inner Miyagi. And in the end, well, the desk, it just wasn't working out. It was nice, it looked okay, but just wasn't working in that room. And I'll tell you why. Remember, this is Studio B. I already have Studio A. You know. So I didn't want my living room, Studio B as I call it, to become just a studio. You know, I still wanted it to be kind of like a living room, right? Makes sense. And man, it's so crazy, but I'm telling you, that little ratty couch, big ratty couch, kind of made the room seem more like a living room, believe it or not. And the more I thought about it, you know, while I can still do everything that I would have done on the desk as far as, you know, computer-wise and audio interface and recording and so on, and playing for that matter, I could do that with the couch instead of the desk. So, scratch the idea. Now here's the problem. You have no idea what hell it was to get that desk out of my shed. Of course, it had to be buried way in the back, and I had to empty out the entire shed. You know, terrible, just terrible. But I got it done. Then it was hell to get it in the house, you know. Now, what this forced me to do, though, was some major cleaning and organizing and that kind of thing. So it's not a total loss, even though the desk didn't work out. Now, here's the problem. Well, now I had this desk in my living room and the side couch, you know, that I just didn't have space for. And in the end, the couch, you know, while the leather is peeling, granted, it's still structurally sound, and it's not that bad, really. And in fact, I'm going to cover it just with some, you know, real light blankets and things. It should be fine. Man, I just didn't want to get so deep into this as being such a huge project. But maybe it was worthwhile, you know. But notice that I replaced the blinds that were all messed up and were dirty. Cleaned the air conditioner, basically cleaned everything, kind of organized it a little better. Okay, so here's where we're at now. Basically, I went through and you can see replaced the blinds there, cleaned up. So big difference here, big difference. And now we're setting up basically the studio. B is basically on the coffee table here. Well, I have a 2x12 cabinet coming, and thank goodness it's a vertical cabinet. And that'll be a video coming up pretty soon. Yeah, right? In the next week or so. So I gotta make space for that too, you know. So kind of a work in progress, you know. But I'll tell you what, when I got that you know, recording computer, a DAW basically, on my coffee table, well, that was just great. And it worked out fine. And I found the last things I recorded on it, and it's basically 2 albums that haven't even released yet. I guess I need to do that. You know, I've gotten so wrapped up in gear and so on that I've got to get back to, you know, creating albums, which is for me, you know, what I really enjoy. So finding those 2 albums and the way they sounded was just great. So not a total loss. And now I have a much better idea of what's in that shed, you know, and I think most of it I'll sell off, you know. So anyway, all's well that ends well. And it's kind of the end of this year. Wouldn't you know it? Right? So, I will keep you updated. You should subscribe. Right? And what do they say? Oh, yeah, hit the notification bell. I don't think I've ever done that in my entire life. At least not on YouTube. I just haven't done that. But anyway, you really should subscribe. Because I will keep you updated on the progress of Studio B here. And I'm quite determined to see it to its completion, especially after spending 3 or 4 days messing around with that desk, you know. And, you know, who knows, maybe further down the road, won't regret it or will regret it, I don't know. But for right now, I can tell you, when I put the couch back where it was, well, feng shui was restored. So the couch stays, at least for now. You know, and who knows, I mean, I'll eventually replace it, who knows. But it just, to me, gave it more of a living room feel, which is kind of what I wanted, you know. All right, see you next time. Okay, bye.